in the penultimate game of the Fate of Konor. Right, this mission is called Countdown to Destruction, and the bump for this battle is: despite a valiant attempt to contain the invading forces, and with the walking pox running amok amongst the rapidly dwindling population of Drenthal, which is the planet that we're on, Imperial High Command has taken the desperate decision to overcharge the fusion core of the Terabal Station Sigma, and all loyalist forces must fight their way to freedom or perish amid the planet's destruction. So what this means for a mission is it's a breakthrough mission for the Ultramarines. They are the attackers. They've got to break through the Chaos line. So the Chaos forces, they have up to 24 inches of the board to deploy in. The Ultramarines have up to 12. And at the end of each battle round, they will lose 6 inches of the table. And then after the second, it'll be another 6 inches. Then after the third, it'll be another 6 inches. So the ground slowly starts to fall away as this massive overcharge of the fusion core, as the ground starts to fall away. So we're going to try and represent that the best way we can. And the Ultramarines have to get units off the board. And it's not going to be just units that score points. What it is, it's you have to add up how many power level of unit escaped from the board, and then if it's a third or more of the Ultramarines army, they will win the game. If it's less than a third, then the Chaos forces will win. So the power points level that the Ultramarines have to get off with this force is 29 power points. Okay, so I would urge people to read the mission just to fully understand what is at stake in this game. Flyers, they will not count for the Ultramarines for leaving the table because they're too quick. And they don't count towards the power rating either. It's just ground forces that you have to add up. And the battle length for the game is random, so we don't know when it's going to finish. And there are no secondary missions. There's no Slay the Warlord. There's no First Blood or anything like that. It's just get your men off this planet. We've got 2,000 points of Chaos here, so we've got about 1,000 points of Death Guard and Night Lord. So we've got 2 detachments. We've got a battalion detachment. This is where all the Death Guard are. We've got Golgoth. He's going to operate as Typhus, because it's the done thing. Until those rules change, that's what's going to happen. So there we are, Typhus, but we'll probably call him Golgoth in the game because that's his name. We've got second HQ. It is the Malefic Plaguecaster. He's a sorcerer with level 2. He can do 2 powers a turn. He's going to have Smite, and he's going to have Plague Wind, because that's what he's thrown out of his hand there. And he's going to have Miasma of Pestilence, which is a pretty good psychic power. We've got 3 troops. We've got the Poxwalkers, 2 units of 16, and the Plague Marines. They count as troops in the Death Guard army. We've got Power Fist on the champion, and he's got a Plague Sword as well. Got Plasma Gun and a Blight Grenade Launcher. They'll have a Rhino. It's got a Combi Plasma on it, and we've got a Bloat Drone that's got the 2 Plague Spitters on it. Right, and Typhus, he's actually a Psyker as well. He can do 2. He's got Smite as well, and he's going to have Miasma of Pestilence, and he's also going to have Gift of Contagion as well. So for the Night Lords portion, this is an Outrider detachment. We're going to have the Raptor Champion. He's going to be the Warlord, and he's going to have the special Night Lord's Warlord trait. He's going to have Night Haunter's Curse. He can reroll a dice every battle round of his choosing, basically. And we've got 3 units of Raptors, all 6-man teams. These 2 are the same. We've got Lightning Claw Champion, a Flamer, and a Plasma Pistol. Same there. And these have got 2 Melter Guns, and the Champion's got a Power Fist and a Lightning Claw. So all these units are going to have the Mark of Khorne, and these have got the Icon of Khorne. The Champion's going to be having the Icon of Khorne, so they can get a reroll their charge range. It's the only one we could fit in. We'd like to get it on the other 2, but ran out of points. The Champion as well, the Warlord, he's going to switch his Lightning Claws out for the Claws of the Black Hunt, which are really, really good, really potent weapon. So they are +1 strength, AP -3, and D3 damage, and you get an extra attack because they're basically lightning claws, and of course you get a reroll failed wound roll, so it's really good weapon, those ones. Got a Predator in heavies. It's got the auto cannon, the 2 lance cannons, and then we've got 2 Helldrakes with the Bale Flamers, and of course the claws on them, so they'll be flying around, since this is themed to the mission, I suppose, with all the flyers and unit of the fly keyword.
Right, so we've got 2,000 points of Ultramarines here. It's a battle-forged army. We have a battalion led by Marneus Calgar. He's been thirsting for some action, so we'll give him a try out before the curtain comes down on this campaign. And he's brought along his trusty second in command, Captain Numitor. He's proved to be the only Ultramarine leader who's won a battle so far. Good luck to him again. He's got his jump pack and his axe. Right, so then making up the battalion, we've got 3 tactical units. This one has a plasma and a sergeant with a combi plasma. This one has exclusively bolt guns, apart from this guy. He's got a flamer. And this one just has bolt guns. And then they are riding in Razorbacks, as you can see with the last cannon, or a Rhino. And we've got the fast attack section, 3 attack bikes, old school with the heavy bolters, and 1 multi-meller and a scout squad bike. For the elites we have a unit of Terminators there with a missile launcher, and then waiting in the wings, a fly wing, Storm Talons. One of them has blast cannons, the others have Skyhammer missiles.
Right, so the way the Ultramarines have got this force arranged, coming out with 9 command points. We've got 3 for being battle forged, 3 for the battalion, and then 1 for the fly wing, and Marneus Calgar gives you an extra 2. Just for being Marneus Calgar, so 9 there, and he's going to have the Warlord trait for, what is it, Adept of the Codex?
Yeah.
Which allows you to get those command points back, those used command points back on a 5+. So plenty of little tricks going around. Marneus might end up being the man we all think he is. He's got a lot of command to wield around. So as the defender, we have to set up the units first, and the Ultramarines do, and of course, just like a chess match, ping-pongs backwards and forwards. So this is how it's ended up. We've got a Helldrake on the far left, a Helldrake on the far right, and we've got the unit of Plague Marines in this Rhino, along with the Sorcerer. We've got the Predator at the back, 2 units of Poxwalkers on either side of Golgoth, who is using the rules for Typhus. So as long as they're within range of Typhus, or Golgoth, they'll get +1 strength and toughness, so everyone huddles around, while all the Poxwalkers huddle around the Destroyer Hive himself. We've got the Plague Drone just there as well. We've got most of our army in Deep Strike, or Raptor Strike as it's called. We've got the 3 units of Raptors and the Lord, so they'll come in to the battle whenever they decide to do that. So the Ultramarines have got a flyer in each corner. We've got the one with the last cannons in the centre. And then big push on the left here to sense that Chaos is weak on this side. So we've got the 2 bike squads flanking the armoured strike here. We've got the 2 Razorbacks and then the Rhino in the middle. The units that you'd expect are inside them. And in Deep Strike there is the 6th Company Captain, the Captain with the jump pack. He's in jump pack assault, or whatever it's called for the Imperium. Marneus Calgar's in teleport strike, as are the Terminators. So with the Terminators and Marneus being in Deep Strike, we've had to keep that in mind as we're deploying, making sure we've got no gaps. We're trying to create as much 9-inch radius as we can, so those Terminators don't just arrive in behind us and then disappear off the table, because that would be insulting. Also, I mean, we have got half the table to deploy in, but we'll have to keep that in mind. So that's why our forces are a little bit far back to the edge. So already the Ultramarines showing the tactical flexibility and pinning the Chaos forces back, whether they like it or not. Right, there's turn 1 for the Ultramarines. Can't do anything about it because they, well, we can't steal the initiative, and they're the ones to go first, so off they go. And it's a speedy attack from them. We've got the 2 flyers, they've arranged themselves like this. The Terminator's deep strike in, around Marneus. Marneus, if you're within 6 of them, you get to reroll all fail to hit rolls, so that's even going to extend to the flyers. The Terminators are no slouches either. All their Stormbolters will hurt vehicles these days, and there's only one Helldrake to hold them back over here. So just to put this in perspective, I think the Terminators are worth 24 power points alone, and this is the ground that they've got to cover, so I mean that's almost all of what the Ultramarines need to leave the table. So those Terminators need to be stopped at all costs, but there's nothing around. They've selected a good place to land, and there's nothing in the middle for the Ultramarines. They're just totally avoiding the Poxwalkers. And massive attack over here. We've got the flyer in support. The captain's landed there to give reroll 1s. Got all the Razorbacks, all the armoured vehicles, and the bikes moving up 12 just to bully the way through. And again on this side, we've only got a Helldrake. We've got the Death Guard here, but we are looking exposed on either flank. We're going to have to try really hard here to stop them. They're looking very scary. The Ultramarines going to start off the shooting phase with this Storm Talent. He's going to fire at the Helldrake. So he has got strafe and run, which normally would get you +1 to hit things, but this has got the fly keyword, but it's not hard to hit, but it's still got the fly keyword, so you'll end up, after all it's all said and done, hitting on 4s, but he's going to re-roll all fail to hit rolls with Marneus. So here we go.
2 last cannons.
Yeah. Right, so they're both hit. 5 and 6, it's good. 3s to wound, 1 wound. Right, so Ultramarines going to use a stratagem to re-roll that failed wound. Okay, so 2 wounds there, so we're going to need to save on demonic saves of 5. We'll miss both. I'm not going to use any stratagems of our own. So damage is absolute. There's 9 damage to the Helldrakes just straight away. Right, the Helldrake is only on 3 wounds now. We've got the assault cannon's got 12 shots. It's hitting on 4s, but with Marneus, after all the maths included, you end up being able to reroll 1s and 2s. So here we go. Right, so there's only 2 1s, 2 dice, should I say, to reroll there. These 3s, because it's a ballistic skill 3 vehicle, it's classed as being hit before all the modifiers, so they actually end up missing in the end. But you can reroll those 1s and 2s. Trying to get 4s to hit, there's an extra 1. Right, so with toughness 7 on this Helldrake, so needing 4s to wound. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is toughness 7, and assault cannon's only 6, so needing 5s to wound. So only 2 do it there. We're going to save on our armour save of 3, but it's -1 AP, so 4s in the end. We only get 1 save, right. 2 wounds left on the Helldrake, and there's still another flyer to have a go at him if he wants to. Right, so this flyer is going to have a go now, the one at the back. It's going to do the storm, what are they called? Skyhammer. Skyhammer missile, so 3 shots, and hitting on 3s, because it's got a modifier which allows it to do that.
Reroll what?
Reroll for Marneus. Okay, there's all hits, right. Strength, it's strength 7 the Skyhammer, so needing 4s to wound. There's 2 wounds, it's AP -1, so we're back on 4s again, and we'll drop both of them. So it's D3 damage each, but we've only got 2 wounds left, so it's irrelevant. Even if we rolled 1s, the Helldrake is brought down. There's no one within 6, so even if it explodes, no one will die. So there we go, 1 Helldrake down, but no first blood in this game. Alright, fired the Terminators off camera as well, just to save time. So the Stormbolters, not in rapid fire range, but they do manage to kill 5 Poxwalkers, even with Golgoth or Typhus, giving them the +1 to their toughness. So 5 brought down, and the Predator gets hit with 1 missile shot, couldn't save it, and it's taking 5 damage. So it's not going well in the first turn. The Chaos are taking a hammering off these flyers. And there's another one to go over here, and more las cannons, just ferocious firepower from the Ultramarines. See what happens over here. Right, the other Storm Talons now fired its Skyhammer missiles into the Helldrake with reroll 1s from the captain. Ended up with 2 wounds on this Helldrake, saving on 4s. So 1 slips through, it's D3 damage, and that is 2 damage to the Helldrake. Right, the assault cannon chimes in now. We've got 4 wounds to save after it's all said and done. Saving on 4s again, and we'll make 3 of them, so that's a good roll from him. 1 more wound on the Helldrake. We've taken 3 in total now. Right, next to fire is the Scouts. They may be green, but they've got deadly weapons. The Assault grenade launchers, the fire and crack grenades, have ended up getting a wound on the Helldrake. It's D3 damage, so we'll need to save this on a 4 because of AP -1 as well. So do save that, spare ourselves some D3 damage, but still got some ferocious guns to put up with. Still 4 las cannon shots in there, and then there's a lot of heavy bolter shots, even a multi-melter on one of those attack bikes. Deadly firepower. Right, the attack bikes are firing now. They've dedicated all of the bolt gun shots and anything with bolt gun in the title towards the poxwalkers, and the multi-melter is fired at the Helldrake. Hits on a 4, got a 5, so it's hit and wounded. And this is deadly stuff. We're going to need to save on a demonic 5, or we're going to take some serious damage. That slips through, so
D6.
it's D6 damage. Not within close range of that multi-melter yet, but still D6 damage. It's horrible. Cocked die, so try again. And that's just a 3, right? So the Helldrake is taking half damage now, he's halfway dead. The attack bikes now fire the combi bolters, or yep, the twin link bolters, that's what they're called in Space Marine world. So a lot of shots from the bolters, and the heavy bolters chime in as well, end up killing 8 poxwalkers here, so we're going down thick and fast. We're going to have to just survive this. Too much firepower too soon, and now we've got the las cannons firing. So we've got this las cannon,
yeah,
it's firing at the Helldrake.
Yeah.
Right, so hitting on 4s because this does not have the hard to hit rule, and reroll 1s because of the captain behind the tank. So both hit, not what we wanted to see. 3s to wound. Both miss. So that is very, very lucky. Still, 1 more las cannon turret to fire. Is that going at the Helldrake as well? Right, here we go then. Let's raise it back at the Helldrake, see if it can do any better. So 4's to hit again. So there's 1 hit. Needing a 3. Gets it, right. Invulnerable 5, demon save. Does not make it. We're not getting any demonic saves here. D6 damage. It's only a 1.
Can I do a command reroll?
Well, you could have if you didn't use it over here for one of your wound rolls for your las cannon. So we've escaped with just that single wound. So we're just over halfway destroyed now. Taken 7 wounds this round. We've only got 12, but I think that's the end of the firepower for the Ultramarines. Oh, a sneaky Stormbolter.
Let's fight the Cutlass.
So
Reroll
1 hit
1.
rerolls, okay, and 4's to wound because the Cutlass are a bit tougher these days. Right, let's see if we can get disgustingly resilient for a poxwalker. We do not. So another poxwalker is killed, but they don't do morale checks because they are brain dead. They just shuffle around. Okay, turn 1 for the Chaos Alliance here. If you notice, we've brought back a Helldrake. At the end of your moving phase, there's a special stratagem you can play. It's called Aerial Dominance, although the title is a bit questionable considering Ultramarines have the Aerial Dominance. They've got 3 flyers, but that's what it's called, Aerial Dominance. You bring on a flyer back from the dead. Costs 3 command points to do, so we've spent 3 command points to just try and get use out of the flyer. See what he can do. So he sets up 20 inches from the board edge and 9 inches away from enemy units. That's as close as we're being able to get. So let's hope he does something. There's 3 command points to do. And at the end of the movement phase also we've had the Raptors come down. So we've got 1 here behind this wall. So if we can spring a trap on them from somewhere. And we've got a unit here just basically in reserve just to pounce on this Terminator unit. Because like I say at the start, if this Terminator unit gets off the board, that's pretty much all of the points that they need to get off the board. 24 points out of the 29 that they need. So we need to take away these Terminators. They've still got a long way to go, but we can't allow that to happen whatsoever. So the Raptors are trying to spring an attack here. Typhus and the Poxwalkers, they're going on down the street. They need to slow them down as well. Predators stay still. These Poxwalkers shuffle down. They've got no ambitions really. But over here, the Death Guard, they get out. Going to try and do some psychic powers, try and assault some vehicles just to slow them down. This Rhino is pulled up as well. There's a steel barricade there. This Heldrake's halfway dead. It did heal a wound with Demon Forge, so it's back to 6 left, and the blood drone that's going around for a closer shot on these bikes as well. So there's a lot of firepower with the bikes, so we have to deal with them. And because they're very fast as well, we don't want those disappearing off the board before we can deal with them. And then if that barricade succeeds, we're hoping it will, we're going to try and attack from the back here. So we've dropped in another unit of Raptors. These are the ones with the icon of corn, so they can reroll their charge range. They've got 2 melter guns in here. We're going to try and take on the flyer. We've also got the Lord with them as well. We've set him just out of sight of the Ultramarines character. We're going to try and get a charge off at him because he'll not be able to throw a grenade or anything. He hasn't got any weapons, so we're just going to try and take him out before he can use that reroll ones benefit that he's got. So it's Raptor Lord. He's going to hunt down with these black claws one of the captains at least. Marneus is probably a bridge too far, but we're going to try and get this guy. Right, I've just had the psychic phase. Typhus, he smites a Terminator dead, and then we do Gift of Contagion on the Terminators, and they've been dropped 1 strength. So they're slightly weaker than they usually were. We've been able to kill a bike with a smite attack, and the Pestilential Fallout eventually killed them off, so the 1 bike is dropped. And then we did Miasma of Pestilence on the Death Guard unit, so they're now -1 to hit that unit, so it's nice defensive psychic power for them. Right, so the Death Guard, knowing that there's a Codex coming up, they've really impressed us here. They've threw a Blight Grenade with the Malefic Plague Caster, killed a bike, threw another Blight Grenade with the guy, the champion, killed another bike, and then all the bolt guns chime in, kill off the last bike. And we've already dedicated the Plasma Gun and the Blight Launcher at this Razorback, so we're going to do that on camera here. So the Scout Bike is going down is a big deal because they're really fast, and it's those kind of units that can just slip by and score those points. So just taking those down with the sort of side shots is really made a difference, I think. So we're going to do Plasma Gun, Rapid Fire to not overcharge. We can't afford to kill ourselves at the Razorback. So we get 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. We get 1 wound on the Razorback, so it needs to save on a 6. Does not, so it's taking its first bit of damage. The Blight Launcher, here we go. It gets 1 hit. It's strength 6, so we're needing a 5. It is a plague weapon, so we can reroll 1s. Oh, that's another one. Anyway, still proud of them. We've had the Rhino with its combi plasma. Fire at the Razorback, no damage. Did do some alright wounds to it, but saved. We're going to do the Plague Spitter now, the double Plague Spitter at the attack bike. So we're going to get... that's 8 to go on it. So these are automatic hits at strength 6, so wounding on 3s against these toughness 5 bikes. And we'll get to reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. That's actually coming in very handy. So they all wound. It's -1 AP. So 8 wounds, saving on 4s against these Death Spitters. Right, so there's 3 fills, so 1 bike is dropped. Now, correction, 1 bike isn't dead. They've actually got 4 wounds these days, so that is impressive. So they're hanging on, much tougher than I thought they were. Right, the Bale Flame off the Heldrake fires at the bikes. Only get 1 shot out of it, and saves on a 6, so can't kill that bike. It's devastating because if we just kill 1, that's a lot of firepower that it's going to go away from the Overwatch. So it didn't happen. Bit wounded. So we're going to move on to the Predator now. It's going to fire at the Razorback that I can see next to them. So we're going to do the autocannon first because it's a pretty good weapon. This 2d3 shots out of it. So we're going to get 3, 4, 5, and hitting on 3s because we did not move. So here we go. So 3 hits. Strength 7 against toughness 7, so we're needing 4s to wound. There's 1 wound. Right, so it's saving on 4, this Razorback. If not, it hasn't. The Predator autocannon's a nasty piece of kit. Does 3 damage, so straight 3 on that tank just there. Now we've got the las cannons, and we've hit with 1, missed with 1, 3 to wound. We get it. So it's saving on a 6. Oh, it's D6 damage. Nope. It's a D6 damage. We'll get a 6. Spectacular. So that's 9 wounds it's taken in this turn alone. Okay, we're coming around here for the Raptor shots. So we've got 2 melter guns. We're going to put those at the flyers, and so are the bolt pistols as well. We're going to even play Veterans of the Long War for this unit. It's going to give us a +1 to our wound dice, which is pretty pivotal for those melter guns. So we're just going to start with the melter guns. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because of the load at the flyer. So we're hitting on 4s, because it has got the fly keyword. We've missed with both, but get a reroll that 1. We do get a hit, and because we've played Veterans of the Long War, we're wound on a 3 with a +1. And of course, we roll that dreaded 1. Do we use another stratagem to reroll that? Yes, we do, because we just can't afford. Oh my word, 1!
Never works, always roll 1.
So there's 2 stratagems down for no reason whatsoever. Right, well, we shot our pistols, they didn't do any damage either, so that was 2 command points up the Swanee. We're moving on to some better news now. The Heldrake, it fires 6 shots out of the Bale Flamer, gets 4 wounds on these Terminators. It's AP -2, so they're saving on 4s. And they make every single one, so it goes from bad news to bad news. Because that was 2 damage each to the Bale Flamer. That could have been, for every failure, a Terminator dead. Just not getting the results. Right, we're straight onto charge moves now. We've done all the Overwatch and most of the charges, so just going to go around the table and show. The Rhino goes in first against these. All 3 vehicles. It's able to get it within an inch of all of them. We take the last cannon shots for the Death Guard going in, but we've ended up with 5 wounds on us. But we've done what we need to do. We've locked all those vehicles in. Then the Death Guard are able to crowd around all the way around this Rhino. It's already taken a wound, and we've got the Playcaster in there as well. There could be some hefty damage coming in for them. If we are to kill it, the unit inside would be lost because they wouldn't be able to be placed, because they're side to side with that one. The Heldrake goes in with no damage, and so does the Bloat Drone. We've got our wicked way over there. Over here we tried a cheeky tactic. We did land the Raptors behind this wall, and you can actually charge these days, but you can't see. So they had a free charge to go at this without any Overwatch, because you still need to see with the Overwatch. Failed the charge anyway, so they stay put. Heldrake tried to charge against the Terminators, but failed, but didn't get damage in the Overwatch, thankfully. And over here is the last charges to do. Thought we'd leave these till last. We've already made it through the Overwatch. Didn't lose any Raptors, luckily, against the Flyer. So because these have the Flyer keyword, they can't assault other Flyers. So we landed 9 inches away, or more than 9 inches away, but still need a 9-inch charge, given that you have to just penetrate that inch bubble. So these are the only squad that do have the icon of Wrath, so they can reroll the charge range. So they needed 9 to get in on the Flyer. We roll a double 1, but the icon of Wrath, come on, please. Oh, it's a 6. Do not get it. And then we're going to have the Raptor Champion. He's going to jump in on this Lord for a showdown, I think. You can't see him as we set him up, so it's going to be just a straight charge. He makes it on a 10. Fantastic. And he goes, jumps over the building. Now we're going to get a taste of those lightning claws. Okay, so we're going to be sensible. We're going to start our attack here with the Lord, because he's the only one who can fight back, really. And we don't want the Ultramarines to counter-attack with one of their stratagems. We've got to mention at the start of the game, because it is very relevant, he's got the Santic Halo, since he can have it for free. So he's got an invulnerable 3, but he's going to have to put himself up against the Chaos Relic, which is Claws of the Black Hunt. Very formidable weapon, so let's see what he can do. Hits on the 2s of 5 attacks, because of the extra 1. So reroll 1s, because he's a Lord. Oh, still a 1. And no 6s, which would have got us extra attacks. So 4 hits, wound on 3s. Oh, and we'll get a reroll because of the claws are basically strong lightning claws. And yes, we'll convert them. Thank the Dark Gods. Right, so 4 wounds, saving on invulnerable 3s. Fails 1. Right, we've got D3 damage on these lightning claws. So just 1 damage. I think we'll just live with that, I think. 1 damage to him. Okay, so we've been around the assaults, and we might as well have not bothered, because we've fought with all of these guys, and in fact the Rhino hasn't fought, but we'll do that in a second. It's probably going to miss. But the Plague Bearers don't do anything, even with the Power Fist and the Corrupted Staff, just not even anything, missed them all. Heldrake and the Bloat Drone only needed to do 1 wound to kill a attack bike, still don't do it, and miss everything. So nothing's going to plan, just can't kill anything. but we are surrounding the Ultramarines. So they can't really go anywhere, but we're not doing any damage. But now it's the Ultramarines captain to attack back. Alright, here we go then. We did the Rhino actually. He did put a wound on this Razorback, so one Rhino did better than the fighting forces of the Imperium at the Chaos. And really talked up those claws, and every time I do, nothing happens. So it's now time to fight back with the captain. He's got an axe. Let's see if he knows how to use it. He's got 4 attacks. So he's a bit of a spoon as well. He only gets 2 of them, but he gets to re-roll those 2. And he makes all 4. So it's a power axe, so you're wounding on 3s here. So 3 wounds. And we'll save on our invulnerable 4. And we make them all. So we're saving our Warlord trait reroll for a failed armor save, but it just never came. Maybe we should have used it for an attack and hit. Right, so we've completed all the attacks now. The attack bikes don't do anything against either vehicle, and the Razorback almost kills a Plague Marine, but we do get our disgustingly resilient roll, because that would have been beyond the pale. So it's the end of the turn. We've got where we wanted to be. We've surrounded them. We've slowed them down, but we just haven't done the damage. But slowing them down, I suppose it's good as killing them. That's what we're going to tell ourselves anyway. So it's now time for the earth to crumble as we enter Ultramarines turn 2 now. Okay, so the earth is starting to fall away now at the end of that last turn. So the 6 inches of the deployment zone has disappeared. So we're using this smoke to represent all the dust kicked up by the disappearance of the land. So if these raptors didn't have the fly keyword, they would have perished in that, but luckily they do have the fly keyword. So anything that hasn't will now be looking at dangerous situations if this tide manages to roll upon them. And this is what's happening here. We've been able to jam the Ultramarines movement phase. So this one can't move on the left, this one can't move in the middle, but it's just got out, well, try to get out 10 Marines, 3 couldn't be placed, so they have perished. And there's this one disengages from combat. Surprisingly, it's been able to get within outside of an inch of all 3 Chaos units, and that spat out a unit of 5 Marines there. So it looks like they're going to attack the Lord, which will be hard to bear. They can't attack anything else because they're still locked in combat, these Plague Marines. So it looks like the Raptor Lord's going to have to take this one on the chin. The bikes break off from combat and escape. They're on the way down there, and the Lord, the captain, there he is, you can just see him, he's broke off from that combat, jumps over the vehicles, and he's getting away with the bikes. Okay, Calgar tells his Terminators to step to the right into this cover. You don't live that long by not using cover, says Marneus. So in this step, trying to get away from these Raptor units that are destined to pounce onto them. And the flyers, these menaces of the skies, fly over here. The one with the last cannons looking to probably take on the Predator, and then there's 2 more flying around over here. So these are just going to eat up pretty much whatever they want. They're just so dangerous. Shooting phase for the Ultramarines. We've just summed all of this up because we've seen what all the flyers can do and whatnot. This unit is 7 bolters, and there's a flamer in there, and this unit of bolters fire at the Lord. Before they do that, we'll play it in Midnight Clad. It's an exclusive Night Lord stratagem. Just means that you have to -1 to hit him, so he survived the flamer, which auto hits, and then every bolter just sort of missed him. Got loads of his saves, even had to use the Warlord trait to reroll one of those saves, but he's done it, and he's hasn't got a scratch. He's just fine to go. So the Ultramarines are just thinking there, do they want to charge him or not? We're going to see in a second. The Helldrake survives because no one shoots at it, but the Blood Drone comes under some fire, so it had a multi-melter shot at it, and both flyers didn't like its jip either, so they've tried to put as many shots on it as they can. But because it's Nurgle, it's been saving very well on the disgustingly resilient. 3 wounds on that. We could have lost it because the Ultramarines were rolling well, but we equalled that with saves. and the Helldrake finally starts to save as well. All the bolter shots, a ferocious amount of fire with the stone bolters in at close range, especially with Marneus having rerolls, did get nearly all of our saves. The only one we didn't get was the rocket. Clipped us, got 5 wounds on us, so again, almost halfway dead. That Cyclone missile launcher, even if when hitting on 4s it's still potent. Did use a stratagem to get those 5 wounds on it though. Over here, this seems to have run out of steam, fired its las cannons at the Predator and missed, and then all the assault cannons at these Raptors, but because they got the fly keyword and being in deep cover, we've been able to survive. Because this has got strafe and run, it can chew up ground targets, but as soon as you incorporate the fly keyword, it starts to run out of steam a bit. These bikes, however, they do not run out of steam, they just mow down the poxwalkers that were in the street here. They did break off a combat, but Ultramarines have the special chapter trait which allows you to hit but with a -1, so they've spoke up and they were heard. Just dead zombies in the street, or even deader zombies. Right, the Ultramarines not wasting any time, they pounce on the Lord. He throws a grenade at them but they just waltz through it. They've attacked him and they've caused 2 wounds on him, so a lot of attacks there, and because you only save on a 3 it is quite worrying. So they've actually done 2 wounds on him. I was quite worried about that. And then this tank fights in the fight phase and doesn't get any Marines, but now it's time for the Night Lord's turn. So we're going to do the Raptor champion on camera here, the Lord. So he hits on 2s and he's got a double 6 in there, which means he gets Death of the False Emperor. Gives him an extra 2 attacks to hit with, which he does. This is on the large 7-man squad, of course. 3s to wound. We do get a re-roll because they are sort of lightning claws. We've made them all right. He's really angry about that jump pack captain slipping away, and he's taking it out on these Marines. So 7 wounds on these Marines. There's only 7 left and they're going to have to save on 6s, so it should get at least 1, possibly a couple. So gets 2. So we'll complete the fight phase now. So 5 dead from that squad there, and then all of the Plague Marines and the Sorcerer put their aura in on this Razorback. We're able to do 3 wounds on it with the Power Fist. He finally hits. He's not very good with that Power Fist in previous games, but he's finally connected and he caused 3 damage on it by himself, so I'm proud of him now. But that is it for this turn for the Ultramarines. So it wasn't as powerful as the first turn. The fly is not doing the damage that they thought was going to happen. This might have given the Chaos Force a window of opportunity here. Night Lords and Death Guard turn 2 now, so we've survived the first brutal turn from the Ultramarines and then the lulled in the second. Now we think it's our time. Everything's in position. We've got this Helldrake. It came from over here. It's flown. It's looking to take out this fly with the las cannons. Las cannons are so deadly. We've just got to try and take it out. It's so deadly. We're so worried about getting taken out in the Overwatch as well. So he's got a task. Let's see if he can do it. Typhus, or Golgoth as he's known. He's mooching down the street with his plague zombies. Not enough though. He's only got 5 on his advanced roll in total. So he's only been able to shuffle a little bit. He's slow these days. The knees have gone. And the Raptors not so slow, so they've jumped out from behind that building 12, and the other squads jumped from this top of the building down to here. We're trying to surround Calgar and his band of veterans. The Helldrake's going to go in as well, so it's a Night Lord attack, surrounded, just how the Night Lords like to do business. And over here where it just looks like a complete mess. So these 2 squads, or these 2 vehicles, they don't have any squads in them because they were susceptible to the damage over here. There's only 2 left out of this squad, another 5 here. This was the squad that came out of the Razorback. So we're going to try and crowd round them with these Raptors as well, try and finish them off. But there's still a squad in here, so we still need to finish off this Razorback, and hopefully the unit inside can't be placed, and that'll destroy them straight away. So the Ultramarines coming down in a steel wall might have been turned on its head here. So, you know, when you're a veteran of the Long War, you pick up a few tricks here and there. Okay, we'll complete the Psychic phase now as well. We smote this Razorback, and because of the Pestilential Fallout, give it an extra wound as well. So 2 wounds on the Razorback from Mortal Wounds done. So that was handy. And then over here, Typhus right at the back there. He does smite on this unit, and we have to use our last command point to get it done, but we do, and passed it, and then we'll roll 3 on the damage. So that's a Terminator dropped and a wound on another. So the Terminators are going down. Every Terminator that dies is crucial when you have Terminators, so that's pretty good from Typhus. And we've got a load of bolt pistols and flamers and plasma pistol in each squad to go, ready to try and whittle down these Terminators for the big attack. Because the Night Lords don't like a fair fight. And I think even if we kill all these Terminators, there's Marneus Calgar standing there. And even then I don't think it's a fair fight, because Marneus brings the pain. Right, we've got a big feeling about this turn. We seem to be doing well. We've fired both squads of Raptors and the Helldrake. Been able to kill 3 Terminators in just the shooting phase. Fair enough, we did throw grenades at them, crack grenades. Plasma pistols, 2 flamers. We even overcharged 1 plasma pistol and got one. There's only 4 left. But Calgar is still staying strong. The Helldrake didn't do the job, but over here, the Helldrake, he's done, got 6 hits, converted 3 of them, so you're going to need to save, 3 on AP minus 2, so that's a 5. Right, 2 go through. That means it's 2 damage each, that's 4 damage on this flyer here. Right, Bloodrun, he's going to try and hunt down this captain, so the Plague Spitters, here we go. He's getting 9 shots out of this one. It's not looking good for that guy. Right, we're still at strength 6, so these are going to wound on a 3. And reroll 1s because of it's a plague weapon. Right, so it's pretty handy. There's 6 wounds in there. Going to need to save on his Iron Halo 3, yeah, because he's got the Santic Halo. So you go save on 3s on the Santic Halo. Okay, he's doing it over here. Right, we've got 4 fails there. He's already on a wound. The captain's gone down. Okay, so we're going to fire the Predator next. It's going to go at these attack bikes. Now, this is pretty crucial because the attack bikes are only the real ones at the moment who have even got the opportunity to escape off the board. And they're worth 9 power points, I think. So if they can get off the board, that'll give the Ultramarines some hope. But if they be destroyed here, then it's looking sick for the Ultramarines just in that one turn. So here we go, las cannons at the bikes. Okay, we get 2 hits with the las cannons. Did not move. Wounding on 3s. Because no wounds. Right, this could be the escape. Predator auto cannon. 2d3 shots. So that is 4 shots coming at them. 3s to hit. We get 3 hits. Right, so he's saving. No, wound. 1 wound. Saving on 4. Gets that save, right? So the bikes look like they're home free just about. Got nothing ready to shoot at them. Okay, we're moving on to charges now, and Marneus is in for the fight of his life here. 2 Raptor squads are in on them now, as is the Helldrake. They're surrounded. They're going to need to literally fight their way out. That's the only option they've got here. The Helldrake now meets this flyer in an aerial battle. Gets through the Overwatch, no damage done, and we're now on our full tier because at the start of this turn you get to fix a wound. So he is back on his top tier with full attacks and full nastiness. This flyer has only got 6 wounds left, so we're going to see if we can tear this out of the sky. And this Bloodrun goes in after dispatching the captain. He's now after these bikes, he will not let them escape, so we'll see how he does in combat. And over here the Raptors jump in, attack this vehicle and the last remaining 2 Marines from that squad. And I think the Lord is going to take on the big 5-man squad. So the net is closed. The Ultramarines have just got bogged down. And they're surrounded in every part of the battlefield. They have to really fight hard to get themselves out of this one, or else this rolling tide at the back is just going to sweep them all up. Right, we're doing fights now, so we select this unit of Raptors to fight first. The reason is we're just anticipating a counter fight here. And we assume it's going to be Calgar because he's so deadly. So we're just trying to attack with this unit before they perish to the hands of Calgar. So we've struck. We've got 3 wounds on the basic Terminators, so they need to save on 2s. Just want to roll them. So they all save. And then there's 2 standard wounds on Calgar to save on 2s. He takes a wound. Interesting. And then he's got 1 to save from the lightning claw, so he's saving on a 4, and he passes that one. So he's taken a wound. He took a chainsword to the back. Okay, so it's been a change of plan. The Ultramarines, Calgar isn't going to strike with the counter strike because he would just fight this unit who's already fought. So that was the Night Lord's prerogative to do that. But the Ultramarines can now strike with this unit on this Raptor unit before they get a chance to attack. So we've got the Power Fists in blue, Chain Fists in red. There should be another 2 attacks with the Power Fist. Alright, so you get to reroll those 1s and 2s because you're within 6 of Calgar. You're needing 4s to hit. Alright, it says a good amount of hits. 5 hits, wounded on 2s against these Raptors. Right, 1 escapes at least, so 4 wounds to try and save on 6s. We'll get 1, but 3 go down, so counter attack in effect. Right, now we've got this Power Sword Sergeant. He's got 3 attacks, and he's hit with 2. Rerolls that 1. Marneus gets them all. 4's, oh, 2. It's deadly stuff. Save on 6s. No, 2 drop. Right, we've attacked with a Helldrake, fails to deliver the goods, only puts a wound on the Terminator, and still Marneus has left to fight. Looks like we've bit off more than we can chew here. Didn't even kill the Terminator in the combat, and it just looks like we're going to get wiped. Okay, and then we do the Charging Raptor Squad here. They finish off the 2 Marines with ease, and they've consolidated. So it's now the start of the fight phase. We've done the charges, now it's just the regular fight phase. So activating the Lord. And he's hit with them all. He can get to death to the False Emperor. And he's hit with that one as well. 3's to wound against these Marines. And reroll because we are sort of lightning claws. Right, there's 5 wounds. There's only 5 left. And these save on 6s, so it's AP 3. And it's a full wipeout. Those Claws of the Black Hunt end up being good. Okay, then the Raptor Lord, he jumps onto this tank in his consolidation, so he will not let that go. It's only got 1 wound left. We're just going to see if we can finish that off next time. But it's over at the Ultramarines now, and it's Marneus to clean house. And he certainly can do it. Right, he's powering up his gauntlets of Ultramarines. He's got 5 attacks, hits on 2s. And he rerolls, failed to hit rolls. He's going to need it. He's a bit rusty with those fists. And he's hit them all. Wounded on 2s, got strength 8. Okay, so 4 go through, and all of a sudden this becomes a big mistake. Oh, at least one of them lives. So 3 dead. We're going to have the champion hang on with the lightning claws, but the rest of the squad have been obliterated just about. Okay, it's bad news for this Razorback. It gets hit with a corrupted staff and finished off, so that is it for that tank. The squad inside cannot get out, so they are destroyed just by default. Unfortunately for them, they just get cut down as they're trying to get through the smallest hole. But now, let's see if it explodes on a 6.
Reroll.
He's going to use a stratagem to reroll to try and get a 6. Might as well. Oh, right. Uh-oh. Damage all around him. So D3 damage, mortal wounds for this Rhino then. So just the 1 for him. And then on the Plague Marines, D3, it's another 3. We do get disgustingly resilient against this. We get 1, but we've lost 2 in the blast. You just got a feeling this is going to happen sometimes. So 2 have gone down from the Plague Marines, and the Plague Caster, what about him? Another 3 on him. Disgustingly resilient. He only rescues 1 wound, so he's taken 2 wounds. And the Raptors, the big squad here, these 3 wounds. So 2 just die, there's nothing we can do about that. Uh-oh. And then I do believe the Lord is out of 6. He's not, he's within 6, so D3 for him. It's another 3. So everyone's dying in that blast. They've done more with the exploding tank than anything else. Devastating. So actually the Lord's already taken 2 wounds. He might be dead, and that would be Warlord. Right, this tank I get a roll for because it's no 1 wound on the middle tank, but everyone else has been just dispatched. Right, so that's what's up so far. The Lord's dead, 2 Raptors, 2 Plague Marines. Now this, because it was on its last wound, now that is destroyed no matter what you roll on the D3. So let's see if this one explodes, because if this explodes, it doesn't. Can't use a stratagem to reroll that. Massacre. It says the aftermath out of that outrageous explosion. We're going to have to take morale checks, and this is pretty worrying. Alright, there's so much happening. Forgot about 2 combats over here. So we've got the Helldrake on this flyer here. He's okay. He's taken 5 wounds because he restored 1. So he's on his top tier of health. And he's got 4 attacks. Hits on 3s, but if you attack on something with a fly keyword, ends up hitting on 2s. So he's got them all. And he's strength 7, so he's needing 3s against his flyer. And he gets them all as well. Right, that's pretty good. Right, it's AP -1 for the claws, so same on 4s. So 2 go through, and it's D3 damage for each one. So 3, 1, so an extra 4. It's on its last 2 wounds. Alright, it's morale checks time. It was a devastating round in combat. Right, so we lost 3 out of this squad. We're okay. That only amounts to 6. We lost 5 out of this squad. 5 plus 4 is 8. We are okay because he is the champion and his leadership is 8. Terminators, they lost 3 in that whole round, including the shooting phase, and they will be leadership 10 because they are Ultramarines, which gives you a +1 to your leadership. I've just had a look for reference. They are leadership 10 with the Ultramarine tactic, so doesn't matter if they're all a 6, they're okay. They're standing strong over there, and all the bodies over here will stand strong. When we lost 2 out of this squad, they are leadership 8, so they'll automatically pass, as will the Plague Marines. But it's been savage, absolutely savage. We've only got him on his last wound, lost the Lord, but we are doing what we need to do. We've held up that unit and we've destroyed everyone else in the vicinity. And no morale checks needed over here. Nothing happens. The Blowtron doesn't hit, and Space Marines don't do any damage either. So, destructive round. That explosion was biblical. But the main story is that Marneus and his Terminators over here, although they just took these Raptors to task, if they want to leave the combat, they're going to have to go around this way, which is going to put an extra turn on the move, and the game is, well, it's only turn 2, but it feels like it's been going on forever. But the writing's on the wall. These bikes over here will probably escape, but who else is to follow? And they need 29 power points to leave the table. It's looking like an impossible task at the moment. Right, moving phase for the Ultramarines. So first things first, the earth still crumbles away. They lost another 6 inches on the deployment zone, but I think the Ultramarines are safe now. There's no survivors in their half anymore. It's all going on down in Chaos deployment. So Marneus and the Terminators are still going to just fight their way out the combat, and they are ferocious. Expect those to just wither away, and Marneus will be on his way. We did have a counter-attack unit on the way, but now they're looking under threat. They've got the Flyers. This one here, it's going to try and take away some of the walkers, and even the bikes have chosen not to go off the table and score those points. They're going to try and take out as many pox walkers as they can. Ultimately, the goal is get the Terminators and Calgar off the table. If they do that, then they've won, because that's all the points they need. And so the bikes are just being secondary here. So they're going to chip in their shots. This flyer, it's backed up, it's in hover mode, it's going to take some shots, it's severely damaged. This one is still fresh, so this one's going to chime in as well, probably on the Helldrake. But over here, there's not much left. Just that Rhino, and there's nobody in it. Right, we've just completed the shooting phase. The Ultramarines Flyers are starting to get tuckered out now. This one, hitting on 5s, basically. It still gets a Lascan hit on this flyer, but we do save on our Demon save, lucky. This causes no damage on the Helldrake. It saves it all. It wasn't very good at hitting. What else do we have? We had all these bolters. Well, the melter gun first of all went against this tank, but because it dropped out of combat, Being an Ultramarine, you get a hit on a 4, but it moved with a heavy weapon, turning it to 5. It was just too much to ask. However, all the bolt guns and heavy bolters hammered the poxwalkers, as well as the assault cannon from the flyer, just hammered them down. Skyhammer missile launcher takes 1 wound on the Helldrake, but after it's all said and done, we're down to 1 poxwalker left, surrounding Golgoth, aka Typhus, or vice versa. So that's what we've got left, and he is the man who could possibly stop these Terminators. So he's still alive and at large. Right, so the last stand of the Terminators turned out to be a very good one. So they've been chosen to strike first in this combat phase. So they're putting the Chain Fist and a Power Fist on the Helldrake. So Chain Fist is in red, hitting on 4s for every one of these dice. Missed them all, but you get to reroll 1s and 2s with Marneus after it's all said and done. And they've all hit. That's devastating news. These are strength 8 against toughness 7, so needing 3s to convert these over. Ooh, right.
Good reroll.
So here comes a stratagem then. Command reroll for the Chain Fist. Right, so 2 for the Chain Fist, 1 for the Power Fist. We'll get a Demon save against the Power Fist, which we make. The Chain Fist, we've got 2 to save on these for the Demon save. And we'll make those. Whoa, denied.
Denied, eh?
Alright, well, we've still got more for them to fight. There's the Power Fist and the Power Sword to fight against the Raptor unit. Alright, so we've got the Power Sword in yellow. Power Sword will get the reroll hits of, well, everyone gets a reroll hits of 1 and 2. So here we go. Yep, so these are reroll. Yep, so Power Sword needs 4s. Power Fist need 2. Right, escape a Power Fist and 2 blows from the Power Sword. Both of these saving on 6s. Oh, dear me, what is going on? It's the last stand of the Raptors. Right, so that was really impressive, double 6. I don't think I've ever seen one from my hand anyway. We're going to activate this Raptor before he dies against Marneus. He's got 3 attacks and he's hit with 2. And he gets a reroll because of the lightning claws. Gets 1 on Marneus, he's saving on a 4. Makes it, right, so Marneus stands strong. So who are you triggering now, Marneus? 5 attacks from Marneus. Gets them all, no need to reroll. Wounds on 2s. And this is looking like a bad scene for that Raptor champion. I rolled 2 6s, can you roll 5 6s? Oh, it was a good effort. I'm pleased with that roll anyway, even though he died. Right, so there's nothing else to fight for the Ultramarines, so we're just going straight on to the Helldrake. And he's actually fresh, so he's going to attack the Terminators. And he's not that fresh, he's only hit once. There is a wound, it's AP minus 2, so saving on a 4. That isn't good enough. Terminator brought down. Okay. Helldrake claws at only AP 1. Not AP2, I misspoke, and that 3 was actually a save. So the Terminator still stands. The Raptors, amazing saves there. Right, it's the Raptors' turn. These guys still yet to fight. So we've got the Raptor Lightning Claw champion. And he gets a death to the False Emperor. He doesn't convert it though. Right, 3s on the Terminators. Re-roll because of Lightning Claws. So just 1. Saving AP minus 2, so it's a 4 on that Terminator. Ooh, so that is the Terminator died.
Terminator died.
Right, and the basic attacks from the other guys, just 1. None. Right, so these will pile in at the end of their fight. Interesting. Right, we've completed the Chaos moving phase, and it's all about this fight over here really. So Typhus, aka Golgoth, he's moving in. We're going to do our psychic powers in just a second. We've still got a few Raptors left in there, but everything over here is pretty much not going to take effect in the game. It's only the bikes, but if they escape off the board, it's all about those Terminators really. So we're still going to harass them. The blood drone's going after them. We've got the Predator ready to go. This is in hover mode, so we'll try and get some decent shots on this. 2 wounds left, so I'm sure we'll finish that off. Helldrake's now going to try and pick on this. We do heal a wound at the end of the, or at the start of the turn rather, with the demon engine, so still fresh as a daisy, just about, still now a healthy tier. And all of the Plague Marines get back in the Rhino. They see this wave of crumbling earth coming towards them. They decide, well, it's time to get in the Rhino, lads, and off they go. So not too far, they only went 7 with an advanced roll. The Raptors leave this combat, and because they've got the fly keyword, you can leave combat and still shoot. So we're going to just try and finish this Rhino off with those 2 multi-melters, see if we can do that. So here we go, we're going into the psychic phase, might as well do this now. So we're going to have Typhus, aka Golgoth. He's going to smite these Terminators. Or is he? He will on an 8, there's no stopping that one. So D3 mortal wounds, just the one. We've got no stratagems to reroll, we ran out of those long ago. Right, we're going to do Gift of Contagion now, see if we can get this on. No, needs a 7, only got a 4. Okay, so what we're going to do, it's the shooting phase now. We're going to shoot with our pistols in combat because we can do that. So we've got a plasma pistol and we've got a bolt pistol. So we'll do the bolt pistol first. It's hit. It's a wound. We'll save that. And it's a save. Right, so we're going to do the plasma pistol now. Just straight shot, not overcharged. That is a hit. That is a wound. Do you want to save that? And that's going to require a 5 plus invulnerable. No, it goes down. You're going to use a stratagem on that, or you just...
Yeah, I think we've only got 2 left. No.
Okay, so 1 Terminator goes down to the smite and plasma pistol combo. Alright, we've been shooting well. Between the Helldrake and the Predator, taking down 2 of the flyers. These have been ruling the skies, but no longer. So 2 of them have gone down, and we'll wipe out half of the squad of bikes with the bloat drone. So that's came into its own this turn. Poo around a saving for that one, for the bikes, so they've been halved. You still could escape though, it only takes 1 and you get the full points of that unit. The Raptors jump back, just like James Brown, and shoot this Rhino, only get 5 wounds on it. So, as we said, it's all about this combat here. This is where it really matters. So we're going to go into combat. What we're going to do is we're going to have Typhus, and he's going to mount a charge, and he's going to try and take on Marneus Calgar. So, here we go. See if we can get far enough. We're going to need a 7 to get to the wall. And we get a 9. Nurgle favours a requirement of 7. And he sends in blessings as well. So we'll see if we can get that Nurgle walker in as well, because he feels lonely. Nope, he gets a 5, so he's not going in. Okay, so we've got a showdown between the 2 big cheeses. So here we go. We're going to go in straight with Typhus and Calgar. We're going to fight over the wall like neighbours. And Typhus, he's got 4 attacks. He's hitting on 2s. And he's hit with 3. No rerolls for Nurgle characters, unfortunately. He's strength 7 with Man Reaper. Wound on 3s. Okay, he gets to reroll 1s, but doesn't get reroll 2s. So there's 2 solid blows right on the cranium of Calgar. Let's see if he's on his Weetabix. So it's AP minus 3, he's saving on his Iron Halo of 4. Saves them both. That is bad news. Right, the Ultramarines got the last 2 command points. They're going to use the counter-offensive stratagem. They've already rerolled to get them back, and they did, got a 5 and a 6, so just like it never happened. So they're going to get a fight in the counter-offensive, and they've still got the last 2 left, which is command points left, which is really disheartening. So here they go. They've got a lightning, a power sword and a chain fist against the Raptors. Here we go. So 3 attacks with the chain sword, 2 with the chain fist. Here we go. Alright, so reroll because of Marneus. Right, so the chain sword's hit, the chain fist hasn't. So you need 4s with the chain fist. So the power sword, wounds on a 4. Gets them all, and there's only 3 Raptors left. We need another batch of 6s here. We get 1, that's all we wanted, because we've got lightning claws to attack. Ooh, it's a right fight over here. Alright, so we've done all the charges, we've done the combat over there with the bloat drone. Puts 2 wounds on the attack bike right in the distance. So we're coming back over here. We've got the Raptor, and he's going to attack with his lightning claws against this unit. And he's hit twice. And he's wounded once. Reroll because of lightning claws, just the one. AP -2, saving on a 4. Gets it. It's just tough going over here. The Helldrake is next on these. Oh no, it's you to fight, so it's Marneus to be triggered. He's got 5 attacks. So he's hit on 2s against Typhus, and he gets them all. No need for a reroll. Now, these are strength 8, are they? So they're needing 3s to wound because Typhus is toughness 5. Wow, escaped 2 of them. Right, so 3 wounds. They're going to use a stratagem to reroll one of those wounds. Gets it, right? So, yeah, it's AP -3. It's just a power fist at the end of the day where you don't need a -1 to hit. So that's pretty good. So what was it, 3? 4. 4, right. 7 on the Iron Halo, or the Corruption, or whatever it is. And he just takes all of that in his stride. Just can't see him through the mist coming off his back there. Alright, Helldrake on the Terminators. Let's get one to go down. Just one hit. No wound. It's a tough nut to crack over here. So we've lost 2 Raptors in that fight. We are leadership 8, so we still wouldn't succumb to any fear. Neither would the Terminators, because they only lost 1. So no morale checks to be done. Nothing would happen. So it's just still gutting it out, these 2. The earth continues to crumble. It's only Ultramarines turn 3. It feels like we've been going on for days now. It's creeping in, but again, there's nobody around, so there's nobody at risk of being swallowed. But it definitely looks cool, right? We had the Rhino to move forward, even pegged off a Raptor, so 1 is dead out of that group. This attack bike speeds on down the street, fires a multi-melter at the Helldrake, doesn't do anything. Bolters at the last remaining Poxwalker, and he saves, but he finally is brought down by the Flyer. The last of his kind. Poxwalkers are now extinct in this street. And fires Storm Strike, it's Skyhammer missiles at the Helldrake, puts 3 damage on him. So the Helldrake is actually pretty wounded now. But that's all the firing. There's not a lot of Ultramarine stuff left. And once again, it all comes down to this fight over here. So the Ultramarines will trigger. Who first? Who's going to be the one? Terminators triggering first. Right, so we've got the Power Sword on the Raptor, Chain Fist on the Helldrake. Rerolls 1s and 2s for Calgar being there, right? So 1 Chain Fist hits, but all the Power Sword hits. Hit. Words. Right, 4s and 3 on the Chain Fist. Okay, so the Chain Fist does do the damage, so we need to save that on a Demon save of 5, which we do not make, so that's a solid 2 hits on the Helldrake, and there's only 1 wound with the Power Sword, so this Raptor needs to save on a 6. Can he do it again? Can he really do it again? No, he can't. So he's dead. Goes off into the legend now. But this Helldrake, a little bit wounded, so we get to fight back. Of course, we're going to select Golgoth, aka Typhus. Alright, Typhus, he's going to attack Calgar, and he's got 4 attacks again. Right, he's hit with 3. Wounds on a 3, and he gets 2 again. So 2 Iron Halo saves for Mr. Calgar. He gets them both. Oh, it's savage. It's 3 damage each, that axe, and he's making them all. So Calgar's going to come back. He's took that one on the chin. He's got 5 attacks.
Now you'll see savage.
2s to hit. Rerolls 1s.
Whoa.
Well, he's hit with them all. There's no reason to reroll that 2. No.
Oh yeah. So,
right, 2's to wound. No, 3's to wound because Typhus is toughness 5.
I'm going to reroll this one. Dice.
Okay, stratagem in play. Gets it.
See if I get this back. Yes, I do.
And gets that stratagem back. Never ending stratagems for the Ultramarines. Right, so another 4 wounds planted upon Typhus. He needs save on his iron halo thing again, and he does. All 4.
Oh, tiresome.
Tiresome Typhus. Well, he's not tired, he's taking them on his bird's nest with no sign of relenting. Alright, the Helldrake now. He's got his umpteenth chance to get something done here. 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s. He gets 2. Wound on 3s. Gets 2 of them. So it's AP -1. So 3s to save for these Terminators. Oh, 1 slips through. No reroll because they already used it. Right, so it's D3 damage. Ah, 1 again. So 1 wound on a Terminator, but they're still alive. Can't believe it. Okay, it's been a death fest so far. There's just hardly anything left. This rhino has moved on. The raptors are staying there. We're going to try and finish off this rhino. The predator has moved its turret towards this fly. We're going to try and take this out. And I haven't even moved this Helldrake. So here he goes. Watch him soar. And there he goes. Majestic. And the plague drone, he's still on the hunt for this last biker, so see if he can fulfill his destiny. And over here, still a fight of the ages. But we'll see if we're going to play dirty here. We're going to try our psychic test. Smite against Marneus Calgar. And that is a definite pass on a 9. D3 mortal wounds. 2 mortal wounds dealt to Marneus Calgar. He's reeling. And then we're going to do Gift of Contagion on Marneus. So that's a 9, that's a pass. So on the chart, it's a D3, it's a 1. I'm going to have to consult the book here. Alright, so a 1 on the Contagion discipline. For Gift of Contagion, it's Flyborn Palsy, -1 attack. So Marneus has dropped an attack. He's got 1 fist holding his nose, I think. Right, so the Battle of the Ages continues. We've still got a lot to do with Typhus. Didn't realise there was so much to do. First of all, there is the host. No, not that one. Let's try again. Nuggle's Gift. If you're within an inch of him, at the start of my turn, on a 4+, suffer a mortal wound. Okay, there's another mortal wound for Calgar, just because he's in the presence of the ultimate stink. Right, and then we've got we've got a pistol to fire in the shooting phase. Pistol 2d6, so we'll fire that in combat. It's the Destroyer Hive. So we're getting 4 shots out of the Destroyer Hive. Hitting on 2s. Okay, after further reading, the Destroyer Hive only ever hits on a 5, so didn't hit at all there. Okay, we are entering the assault phase. And Typhus will be selected to fight first. So here we go. Right, this is impressive. He's rolled 3 6s, which means that's death to the False Emperor 3 times. And he's hit them all. This could be the death of Calgar here. 3 to wound. We'll reroll 1 because it's a plague weapon. And yeah, that is looking like a mountain to climb for Calgar. There's 4 wounds he's going to have to take on his Iron Halo.
4.
Sorry, 6. Okay, this is savage stuff. He's only saved 2. It's 3 damage per blow, but of course you do have to halve damage against Marneus, so it turns out it's gone from 3 down to 2. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Marneus goes to the great gig in the sky. He's laid low by the dirtiest weapon he's ever seen. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We fought with the Helldrake, dropped the 2 Terminators after Marneus fell. That is the game. There's no way the points can come in. There's nobody left. It's been brutal. Okay, so we didn't show the rest of the shooting phase because it was pretty irrelevant at this point. This gets hammered. but it's still active. The attack bike's down, but there's nothing else. It's just this Rhino, but it's not really going to contribute. Even if we blew it up with the melter guns, we haven't even shot them. It was all down to Calgar and the Terminators trying to fight their way out of this, but the last round of saving for Typhus and the Raptors just really slowed them down too much. It's just not going to be done. So the Ultramarines will bow out after the loss of Marneus. We've killed every captain that we've came across so far in this campaign, except the Gravis captain. He was the only one that survived. Even Marneus falls. So that is the end. Not even Ultramarine leaves the board. The Brave Bike Squad had a chance to leave, but they couldn't bear to leave their beloved commander behind. So no way through. It looks like they were going to burst straight through, but just didn't happen. Just one Rhino just skidding in front of them, just scuppered all the Ultramarines' plans. So there we go. Another game for Chaos. Another captain down.